Ashley Rowland's attorneys are now arguing with the court that Ashley Rowland is not eligible for the death penalty. If you don't know who Ashley Rowland is the mother of Blu Rolland. Now, Blu Rolland was a little boy who was buried in the floorboard of the home that his mom lived in with her boyfriend. And it wasn't discovered that Blu Rolland wasn't even alive until Blu Rolland's grandmother, the paternal grandmother, the mother of Blu Rolland's father, filed papers in court trying to get forced visitation for the father because the father wasn't being permitted to see his own children. Ashley Rowland, it appears, had possibly cut off contact. And from what I can tell, the father, Dustin Rowland, seemed to be living with his mother, Karen Rowland, anyway, and it looks like maybe she was the go-between for the two parents. In December 2022, a judge demanded that, by force of law, Ashley Rowland hand the two children over to Karen Rowland for visitation, but Karen Rowland got there to get the visitation, and Ashley was like, oh, Blue's not here. He's at a friend's house. And things started to unravel. Also, her daughter was incredibly injured. She had burns to her scalp and needed medical treatment. The daughter was taken to the hospital, where she was in the hospital for, I don't remember, something like a week before she was released. She had severe burns and other injuries to her body, but it was found that evening that Blu Rolland was no longer alive, and he was in fact buried in the floor of that home, where he had allegedly been for several months. Now, Ashley Rowland and her boyfriend, Nathan Bridges, were both charged with capital murder along with a multitude of other charges. But Ashley's attorney is now saying that she is not eligible for the death penalty. I think the whole thing is bananas, because what are the chances that they're going to actually give her the death penalty anyway? Not that big. First of all, they don't give men the death penalty. Ordinarily, Arkansas doesn't have that many men on death row by and large. And also, there are no women on Arkansas death row at this time. The last woman that was on Arkansas death row was executed like back in 2000. It was Christina Riggs. And who even remembers who that was? I mean, some people, but not a ton. So in that court filing, Ashley's attorney says, in this case, the state filed a criminal information against Rowland, stating that the co-defendant Nathan Bridges was solely responsible for the homicidal act and that Rowland was merely present at the scene. The state declined to address how Rowland participated in the murder or how she was otherwise involved. Other discovery produced to defendant by the state includes a statement from a witness present at the residence on the night of the incident, telling law enforcement that Rowland was screaming, "Stop it," to the defendant. These facts, when viewed in conjunction with the case law cited to above, demonstrate that Rowland is not eligible for the death penalty. Now, it has been said that Nathan Bridges is allegedly the one that was responsible for the murder of Blu Rolland, because Nathan, like an idiot, stuck his finger in Blu Rolland's mouth and Blu bit him. Now, this was a little boy. Of course he's going to bite you. What are you thinking, sticking your finger in a kid's mouth and then being angry when they bite you? So in response to Blu Rolland biting Nathan Bridges, Nathan drowned him in a toilet, allegedly. Police previously said that Rowland stated that she was in the living room while Blu was in the bathroom with Bridges. After Bridges left the bathroom, she entered and found her son struggling to breathe, his body limp, she said. She also claimed that Nathan Bridges dug a hole in the floor of the home. He dug a hole in the ground and then buried Blu Rolland in that hole. She also said that Nathan Bridges caused burns to her 6-year-old daughter's head by holding her head and upper torso under hot water in the bathtub as punishment for her behavior issues. But police bring up that Ashley Rowland hasn't been the most honest person when it comes to the murder of her son or any situation involving her children in this case, because at first she said that her daughter's injuries weren't injuries, but that they were an allergic reaction. And she said that Blu Rolland wasn't at home. She didn't say that he was dead. And maybe I'm being too hard on her, but whether or not she had anything to do with the actual murder of her son, she knew that his body was buried in a house that she was living in for months. Not only that, but a few months ago, she asked to go back to the crime scene with her attorneys in order to build her case. And I don't see how any mother who knew where their child was buried would want to go back to that place for any reason. And maybe I am wrong. I am open to hearing about how I'm all wrong, but it just seems like maybe she plays a little bit bigger role than what she wants to say. That's my opinion. Of course, there have been people that have mentioned maybe Ashley Rowland was a victim herself of Nathan Bridges by way of domestic violence. Maybe she was, but I still don't see, even suffering domestic violence, how you could live in a home with your dead child's body. But maybe that is just my opinion. Maybe it's just me.